riding shotgun with me on the boat today. This is my first day in Louisiana as I approach my summer pilgrimage out here with clients. So I'm gonna do a little bit of scouting, but I'm also gonna share with all of you your favorite part of the show, which is tackle talks. So I'm gonna experiment with a couple of different baits that work perfect for this environment, especially this time of year in the summer heat. And this is something that I do at FlatsClassUniversity.com all the time. So strap up, get ready. We're gonna go teach you something about fishing today. This is a typical day for me in Louisiana. The weather is so unpredictable. It's gonna start off pretty and it's gonna get pretty nasty later. So I wanna have as many options at hand as possible. So I will fish a lot of different pockets and shorelines that are protected from the two predominant wind directions that I see here, which is southeast and southwest this time of year. So I'm gonna hit a lot of that stuff. And I'm gonna experiment with a lot of lures. But to me, initially looking here, the water's dirty, which means the river's higher than I expected, which means I'm gonna have to go farther to the outside and find some salty stuff, find some pogies, maybe find some shrimp. But it won't be any of the interior marsh, I promise you that. I might find some interior marsh further downriver, but for now, we're gonna make a long run to get to the outside. Redfish got it right next to him. I'm throwing at the black drum and a redfish got it. Got competitive. And it's not a little redfish. It is a huge redfish. I mean huge. I'm gonna have to follow him. We've been seeing fish so close to the boat all day long just because the water clarity is awful today. Look at the size of this red here. If I can get him in this moss here, I might be able to settle him down. All right, he's in there, all right. Just lead him away. Sometimes if you get the blinders on them, they settle down. I've got everything I own in the cockpit, it would seem. Look at the size of this redfish. Wow. Whoa, come on, buddy. Let me get up underneath that tail. Wow, look at that. I had grass all over the spinnerbait. I didn't care because I was throwing to a black drum, not thinking I was gonna catch this guy. Wow, shows you what a world-class fishery this really is when you can throw a spinnerbait that's gagged up with grass and come up with about 13, 14 pounds of bronze. That's amazing. That is an amazing fish. That's got to be a 13, 14 pounder. All right, let's get him back in the water. Woo! Ready to go. Water's been cool with all the rain we've been having, storms. It's been stormy. We've been dodging storms all day long. It's just been one of those days where you gotta stick and move to a bunch of historical spots, but with this water clarity and the river being up, I've been kind of relegated to a spinnerbait in a couple of louder colors like loud chartreuse or a twin tail goat, something that has a little thump. But the spinnerbait seems to be the deal. There are a few factors that can really affect how you go about your day of fishing here. Poor light, poor water quality. You're forced, I mean really forced to throw bladed baits, big baits, bright baits. Those are the things that work in this. And I can tell you right now, this is going to be a challenge for my guys. If we have light like this and water quality like this the whole time I'm out here, we're going to be on the grind, for sure, for sure. Redfish. I couldn't tell, but woo! Whoa, buddy. Wow. I just saw a little bit of a fin. I had no idea it was that big a redfish. Whoa. That spinnerbait just has the drawing power that a lot of baits in these conditions just don't possess. Wow, what a big fish. These fish have been strong in here today. Ooh, come on, man. Ooh-wee. We've been seeing tails all day, but they were always just a little bit outside of casting range, and by the time you made your way up there, you couldn't find them. And now, with even more challenging light, I've been able to see a couple of them that have come up around mats like this, trying to pop snails and whatnot. So there are some very tried and true strategies when you're fishing summer heat, and a lot of my clients are wondering how successful you can be when it's so tough to catch fish in the Florida water this time of year where you got water temps that exceed 90 degrees. Well, just like Florida, starting early matters, really does. That early bite, that cooler water, that incoming water is best. When you get those incoming tides in the morning, woo, way better than those outgoing tides. Man, this one's even big. It is big. Whew. Constant tension on it. Get that in here before something bites it, because that's usually what happens. Let's just get an idea how long this fish is. Got an aqua traction measuring board here. He's 34 inches. 34 inches. Wow. That is big. Oh, he's got to weigh close to 14, 15 pounds. This is why I come to Louisiana. Big Cajun redfish. Woo! All right, now we're getting tuned in. Definitely spinnerbait fish, definitely. All the other experimentation is off the table. The spinnerbait is the play, at least it is in these conditions. When I come out here and I put rods in the boat, in the skiff, I always think I want to have a couple of options until I figure out what is working. Now, based off all my experience out here, I know swim baits work great. I know that soft baits that float, like the frog baits and things like that, you can use that as a topwater, works really well here. All the bladed baits obviously work very well here. A lot of us think that you can bring anything out here to Louisiana and catch the fish. And on the right days, that's absolutely true. But on days like I'm having today, trust me, I've been emptying the BUZBE box, and the only thing that will draw a strike is a bladed bait. So don't think that you can bring all your junk tackle out here and be successful. Some days they want a specific profile or a specific action. And today, is one of those days. Woo! Man, he smoked it. Literally smoked it. If you hear that clicking noise, that is actually my drag on my salty hundo. Look at the size of that redfish. Holy cow. Pretty cool to have a drag like that though. This is an amazing reel. Offers 15 pounds of drag too, which I'm using every bit of right now. I'm using every bit of that 15 pounds. I know I have the right action rod for spinnerbait fishing. And then I've got, you know, the right drag set and I'm playing with it with my thumb a little bit, but still you don't really factor the weight of all that hydrilla and grass on the line, and it'll straighten a hook flat out. I mean, straighten it out like a hat pin. So you have to be very judicious on how much pressure you give this deal here. I'm gonna put my power poles down because I think I've got this guy beat now. You know they're big when you can barely get a man's hand like mine around it. Woo! Look at that fish. That one there is a good yard long for sure. This spinnerbait is really doing the trick today. I am putting it through its paces. Pick another one of these big boys up. Whoa! Woo! Man, I'm so glad you guys could come along and just experience this with me one-on-one. This is my only day to fish. I'm gonna be out here for 40 days. You know how many days I get to fish while I'm out here in 40 days? Today. That's it, that's why I'm out here. Oh sure, I'm practicing. And I've passed on a few fish today just to make sure that those areas are gonna have plenty of fish for my guys. We're fishing a little channel here that's about 2 foot deep. Woo, low tide, they're coming in here. Let's get this big mama back in the water. Nice. All the places we went today had a lot of brown river water, but when I could find that green water, it was definitely the key factor. It was like fishing the lee side of an island in a bad windstorm. There you go. That's the best part about it, watching them swim away. Because I know we're gonna catch that one again. Well, if I don't do it, maybe you'll do it. So with the setups I have in the boat, I do have some decent casting range, but you can't outcast your eyes. And you may have heard me reference eyes in the back of my head. Well, when I say something like that, that's because my cameraman happens to be my son. He's 6'6", and he's used to hunting fish just like I am. He's right here at 4 o'clock swimming towards me. Right here. And when he's running the camera standing on my pulling platform, behind me, eyes in the back of my head. And he says, I think I see some color up ahead about 100 feet. Well, there's a really good chance that I'm gonna be able to cast up 100 feet in front of me and catch that fish. God, eyes in the back of your head. You gotta be looking all the time. Another absolute toad. And I'm trying my best to keep them out of the grass and into the clear lane here because, whoa, come on, dude. Woo! Yeah. You gotta be so careful. And they dig so hard with that big tail. I mean, they dig so hard. This is a 7'3" Versa medium heavy in the Fitzgerald lineup. And perfect rod, has a perfect action for spinnerbait fishing. And I gotta believe that this one sends us back to Cajun fishing adventures. Getting late in the day, I'm looking around, I feel pretty fortunate. We've dodged a couple of these big storms. I just looked on the Sirius XM and I could see a big red and orange one, and I'm thinking, I'm not gonna push my luck. I'm gonna let this redhead go. Save the rest for my boys. This has been a lot of fun. So happy to have all of you along with me today. Hopefully you learned a little bit about fishing these type of conditions here in the Cajun Marsh. And here we are showing you that spinnerbaits aren't just for bass. They're for redfish. It's a real thing. You know, a lot of, oh gosh, might have should have fought him for another minute or two. He is angry. Whoa, 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 don't break my rod. Need a little bit more room here. Okay, get your head out of the water. You are mean, so mean. Oh, gosh. Well, that's why he's big. He is a big, big fish. It's amazing how that purple color works so well. Wow, another strong specimen here. It's not by accident that all the fish I'm catching are big. When you come out here and fish in the Venice area, they're just big. That's just it. This is the nominal size, the typical size you catch. You don't catch a lot of small ones. I'd say this one's pretty pedestrian, honestly, and it's every bit of 32, 33 inches long and thick. I mean, look how tall these fish are. Amazing. Well, let's let him go and let's make a ride down the old muddy Mississippi, because it looks like that one there could get me. Hey guys, let me share with you what we used on today's shoot. You rode shotgun, but you didn't get to see everything, so I want to share with you the exact specs. Pretty simple. We use the 1/4 ounce. This is the Z-Man Bullseye spinnerbait. It's a staple in my box when I come to Louisiana. My trailer of choice is the Purple Demon. This is the 3.3 Mullitron, unrigged. I put it on this little swim bait head here. And this gives me enough flash, vibration, and silhouette to get the fish to react to it and strike. It's fairly indestructible, even with the size of those fish. Attached to that, I have about 2 feet of 40-pound diamond presentation fluorocarbon leader. Why fluorocarbon leader? I need a handle out here. This stuff is dense, it sinks very well, knot strength is superior. I'm not worried about the invisibility factor. It's just a quality leader material, and that's what I wanted to use. Attached to that, I have an FG knot. If there's ever a time to tie an FG knot, it's around all of this grass. So a small FG knot here, tied to 30-pound. This is diamond 30-pound moss green. This is in the Generation 3 braid. And then I've got that connected to a Fitzgerald. This is a Fitzgerald 7'3". This is their medium heavy mod fast. It does a really good job with spinnerbaits. And then I've got the reel that I just got at iCast. This is the Salty Hundo. This is a 100 size reel, believe it or not. It's got 15 pounds of drag. It only weighs 5.2 ounces. And Baits did an amazing job with the corrosion protection on this one, brass gear set in it, the gum grips on here, really sharp looking reel, and performs best in class, I promise you. If you're looking for something that will not only give you your longest, smoothest cast, but can put the brakes on fish like you saw on the boat today, well then Baits Fishing Company reels are for you. Well, I really appreciate having all of you on board today. You guys were literally riding shotgun with Cam and I for this episode. This has been an incredible season, and I really appreciate all the support you guys give FlatsClass. I feel it, I hear it all the time. And for that appreciation, I would just want to give you a couple of these great highlight moments that we had from season 18. It was a spectacular season, and I look forward to kicking off season 19 soon.
That one's got some girth too.
That one's tall, back to belly. That's a duffel bag with fins.
Woo! There we go. Look at that South Carolina flounder.
That was a good one. I don't know what that worm looks like, but it's obviously something that's on the menu. Wow, what a beautiful fish. I mean, gorgeous. Good job, good job.
Yeah.
Good job.
3 bites.
Yep.
That Z-Man works.
Ha! You get it in there, that little shrimp is such a perfect bait.
Yep. Awesome.
Such a perfect bait. I'm trying to catch up, get a couple of bites here. Starting to work out for me.
This is a good start.
It's a good start.
You got a long way to go.
Oh yeah, I think you should let him go over here because I don't want him swimming back telling his buddies.
Gotcha.
Well,
Makes me worry when we catch one that's going to be about 35 inches long.
Wow!